Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, Facebook land, wherever you're linking this from. This is Daryl, aka Beef, over at Toiletland Entertainment. I was looking forward to putting together a trailer for my game Beef Quest: The Rise of Dr. Bad real soon here. It's going to take a little while longer to get the trailer going. I have been working diligently for the past couple of weeks on getting this together the best I can for the sake of showing you guys where I'm at with it. In trailer form, I've worked on some graphics for some other portions of the game, some in-game screenshots here. I think I've shown you this one, some of the RoboBase art, and working on the house here, yippity dip dip. But yeah, it's going to be a minute off. I still got a lot of work to do. Right now I'm using ClickTeam Fusion 2.5, which is a bit of software that has evolved over the past, I'd say, 20 years or so, from something called Click and Play, which was cool for its time, into something that is now, in my opinion, the fastest and most easiest game development software to use to get something direct to market in terms of 2D gaming. You don't need any code for it. Basically, the way that I have set this up is you've got all your levels here, your frames, whatever you want to call them. You can go ahead and click on one. This is the main one I've been working on. Is the Happy Village. This is where Beef lives. This is where all the main characters live at in the game. And this is really the general focal point of where you're going to start at. As you can see, I've got most of it built already. There's just a little chunk up here in the corner I don't have built. And this is going to be where Beef's house is at. And we're going to put a little pool back there because it's just what I want to put in the game. I'm doing this to spec as close as possible to spec on the original NES format of gameplay, as far as screen width and height, as far as audio goes, and as far as color palette goes. You'll notice that I've got a big bar up here on the top and a big bar on the bottom, or a little bar here on the bottom of the level here. These move along with the screen, which is actually this little 256 by 240 square right here is the length and width of the screen in the actual game. And in one of the television formats, it's either the PAL or the NTSC format. I can't remember which one's the European one, which one's the American one. But one of them cuts off 16 pixels on the top and 16 pixels on the bottom of a traditional CRT television, which is what the NES was originally formatted to play games on. So I put those little bars there, so no matter, just for the sake of argument, if you were to be playing a game like this on either one format, the game would still fit the screen no matter what. You wouldn't have a chunk of the map chopped off at the bottom, or you wouldn't have a chunk of your HUD chopped off at the top. It fit no matter what. Now, the way I've been developing these graphics has been quite intricate, despite what you may see here, or maybe you think it's intricate, I don't know. But the way the NES worked is you have 8 color palettes total with 4 colors in them, which should add up to 32 colors, except that the 4th color is always a transparent color in every palette. And that transparent color is the same for every palette, no matter what you change it to. So, in actuality, you only have 25 colors on screen to work with. 12 of those colors are for the backgrounds, 12 of those colors are for the sprites, and then there's the 25th color, which is the transparent color. So that can be limiting, but at the same time, it is also very fun to work with because it forces a level of creativity. I have to think about that every time I create a graphic. And thus also the tiles that make up the graphics in the NES are all 8x8 tiles. So I have to think in terms of 8x8 tiles, and let's take this bush for example here. This took 2 pallets. We've got this bottom half here, which is the light orange, the brown. We've got this kind of foggy green, and then we've got the transparent, which my transparent color for this room is black. So everything behind it is going to be black. I don't actually have to draw in black. I just use a transparent color and it shows it. Up here I've got a palette I created using a tool called Palette, which is redundant, but it's a very good tool. I was able to actually load in the original NES color palette up here in this little square. So if we just use these colors here, we're good. But again, with the 8x8 tiles, I had to think in terms of 8. 8 times 4 is 32. So I've got length of 3 tiles here by 4 tiles in width. All of this other palette, which is the red, the foggy green, and then the darker green. Then you got your transparent in the background. So when building this bush, I had to think in those terms. I couldn't just have any of this brown color come splashing up into here because that's gonna break the rules. So let's just cut it down to 24. You'll see what I'm talking about. That's all the one palette. That's all the other palette. So you combine enough tiles. I got 12 of them here in the one palette and 4 in the other. Yeah, there you go. So that's how you do that. And this background here isn't just a background. These are all individual tiles, which is the big deal there. So that's taking a lot of time, and every single little bit of detail you're seeing in here is an individual 8x8 tile of some sort. There's Rastus. He's going to be hitting himself in the head with a hammer. I really have no problem spoiling this chunk of the game here in a video, because this is basically where you're going to start in the game, and from here you're going to be able to go in any which direction you want. You're going to be able to explore any portion of the map you want, which is substantially large. It is going to be substantially large. You'll be able to explore any dungeon you want right off the whip, and you'll be able to work on collecting whatever you want. And the progress of the game is going to be based on what order you choose to do things in, whatever weapons you collect, kind of in the tradition of the Mega Man games, where let's say you go to, let's just make up like the Fire Temple or whatever. You beat the boss there, you get the fire weapon. That's going to be the weakness of another boss somewhere else on the map. And you can still beat that boss without it, but it's going to be substantially easier to do it with that weapon. It'll be easier to get other items with other power-ups, and there's going to be all sorts of fun stuff in here. Like, for instance, we got a shop where you can buy keys, you can buy energy. We got a little target practice game here where there's going to be some rewards for doing the target practice. There's going to be a wizard sitting here that's going to sell potions. This is this little potion table. You've got 3 potions here. You've got the energy potion, which refills your energy. You got the magic potion. You got the both potion here, which is just both. The hot dog place. We're going to have Meat Whistle Chris's hot dog swallowing emporium in the game. You're going to go in. He's going to sell hot dogs for a little energy reboost. And then he's going to ask you to collect items throughout the game to build specialty hot dogs, which is going to lead up to like a super magic hot dog that you can buy to get a special power up in the game. There's your play character. His name's King Beef. The game was originally called King Beef, but for legal reasons, being that famous comedian Martin Lawrence has a character called King Beef, we're not going to be calling him that. He's just going to be Beef in the game. But yeah, there's the main character. Here's the individual tiles that I created to make him. And if I hit the play button, you can see him bouncing back and forth and blinking. Put a lot of detail into that. Multi-directional. He's going to be 8-directional movement. You don't see a lot of 8-directional movement games on the original NES. They do exist. But again, this game is initially going to come out on PC. So we're going to worry about that for the sake of worrying about that at first. It's going to look, feel, and run like an original NES game, but it's still going to be built on PC and launched on Steam. It's not going to come out directly on the NES. I do not have the know-how to do that at the moment. It is possible, but that is a long way off. That's a King Beef in a different color palette I was using before. This one didn't. It looks a little nicer, but it didn't pop on screen the way I wanted it to. There's the animation for the kicking. The kicking is basically going to be used to collect items throughout the game. There's going to be boxes. You don't have to hit a button or do anything. You just walk up to the box, and Beef will automatically kick the box. And there might be nothing in it. There might be coins, energy, magic refills, whatever. It's going to be kind of likened to slashing bushes in The Legend of Zelda. This is the dash attack that you're going to be able to do while running at some point. This is Beef doing his little shake for the shield power-up that you're going to be able to have. You don't just get a shield in the game. It's going to be a power-up that uses magic. Everything's going to revolve around a magic bar in the game. Kind of like it's kind of like Mega Man, where your weapons use up magic. Weapons have energy, and you got to keep track of that. Except they're all going to share one big magic bar. It's not just going to be it's not going to be per weapon. Something you're going to have to think about while playing the game is keeping your magic up. There's the little swimming animation. Let's see what else I can show you here. This is just kind of turning it into a little tech demo. We got some coins up here that I think we're going to go back to coins at some point. I was going to try to use jewels for the game, but as a monetary form. But I really like the coins better, so I'm going to work on getting that taken care of. There's some more sprites for weapons, magic refills, whatnot. Some of this will remain in the game. Some of this probably won't. That's a larger animation from the high-res version. So we're going to pretend that doesn't exist because we're not doing a high-res game anymore. So yeah, this is what I got going right now. This is the main focal point of the game. As soon as I get this ready, I get the basic kinks worked out in the engine. Start building more around outside of this, and the early beginnings of the game. Then I can get a full trailer released for you guys. Of course, I already have a lot more in mind. So stay posted. Keep looking out for more updates, and yeah, hopefully within the next couple weeks here, I'll have a lot more to show you. Until then, boopity boop boop.